Up next, coming out of staging, it's going to be your Mini Mod A feature. On the pole, it's going to be the 13 of Zachary Pendleton and the 64 of Tim Ballou to his outside. On row number 2, the 89 of Dan Enixon on the inside and Kyle Knight and the 36 to his outside. Row number 3, the 7 of Charlie Griffin and the 83J of Jordan Griffin. On row number 4, it's going to be the 09 of Donnie Wagner and the 88 of the Pirate. It's Stephen Beard. Row number 5, the 44 of Brantley Griffin to the inside, the 88P of Jeremy Pinnock to the outside. Row number 6 is going to be the 58 of Keith Reed and the 31 of J.R. Sikoria. Shotgun on the field in row number 7 all by himself. It's going to be the 28 of Braden Griffin. Driver's got the 1 to go as they come by the flag stand. Lights are out. We're looking for a green flag out of turn number 4. Green flag is in the air. Zachary Pendleton's going to jump out. Contact between the 64 and the 89. That's going to open the door for Kyle Knight in the 36. He just goes around the top side and he takes the point. Tim Ballou threw a haymaker in there, got around Enixon, but Enixon brought Jordan Griffin around with him. Problems for the 88 of Pinnock. He's going to turn to the infield. His night is over in the 88P. Kyle Knight quickly out in front by 1.229 seconds over the Bounty Hunter in the 83J of Jordan Griffin. Zachary Pendleton in that 13 car, followed by Dan Enixon. The 64 of Tim Ballou, the 7 of Charlie Griffin. The 88 of Stephen Beard, then the 44. Brantley Griffin. Donnie Wagner in the 09, the 31 of J.R. Sikoria, Keith Reed in the 58, and the 28 of Braden Griffin rounding out the field. Kyle Knight in the 36 got that car's ears pinned back and he's flying. Problems for the 28 of Griffin right in front of the top 3. Gets it going again and trying to stay out of the way of Zachary Pendleton in the 13. Jordan Griffin starting to reel in Kyle Knight in that 36K. Dives into the inside, slides up through turn number 4, cutting the gap down a little bit more. Kyle Knight had to turn down to avoid the 58 of Keith Reed. That's going to bring Jordan Griffin a little bit closer. Laps are ticking off. We've got 9 laps in the books, almost halfway through. Jordan Griffin almost in striking distance. Problems for the 09 of Wagner. He slowed down, but he gets that thing back up on top. Kyle Knight coming up on the backside of Wagner, trying to tiptoe around, and here comes Griffin in the 83J. Getting closer and closer. He's going to take the top side, hoping Wagner pins him back, and Wagner's going to slow him down. Now Jordan Griffin's going to slide to the inside. We have a new leader. It's the Bounty Hunter. It's the 83J of Jordan Griffin. Kyle Knight still hung behind the lap car, the 09 of Donnie Wagner. Jordan Griffin's going to set sail. He's got clean track up to the 31 of J.R. Sikoria. Jordan Griffin, Kyle Knight, 13 of Zachary Pendleton, 89 of Dan Enixon, your top 4. Breaking away from the rest of the field. The only car in the middle of them is the 09 of Donnie Wagner, trying to get his lap back. 83J of Jordan Griffin's coming up on the backside of the gaggle of cars in front of him. Goes to the inside of Keith Reed, going to pass him nice and clean. Now Kyle Knight's going to try also to get around clean, gets that done. Jordan Griffin looking out, sees half his family in front of him in the other cars, and the other half, he just wants to get around. But Kyle Knight slowly creeping up on the back bumper of the 83. Brantley Griffin gets that 44 car out of shape right in front of the leader. Jordan Griffin's going to take it to the top side, trying to work his way around. It slows him down. Kyle Knight almost up underneath that rear bumper. Brantley Griffin started pushing really hard, trying to avoid. White flag is out. We've got a car up on its side. Red flag is out. The 31 of J.R. Sikoria not having the night he was hoping for. Problems earlier. He got up on his side in the heat race, up on his side here in the A feature. Driver is good. Ladies and gentlemen, he's out of his car. Let's have a big round for J.R. Sikoria, not having the kind of night he wants, but he's still safe and sound. Safety equipment did its job tonight in that 31 car of J.R. Sikoria. Problems for Donnie Wagner in the 09. They're going to push him to the infield. You can see a puddle of fluid that came out of that car over in turn number 1. Caution's going to come back out. Jordan Griffin in the 83J is your leader, followed by the 36 of Kyle Knight. The 13 of Zachary Pendleton. I apologize. Let me get this lineup straightened back out here real quick. The 83J of Jordan Griffin, the 36 of Kyle Knight, the 13 of Zachary Pendleton, the 89 of Dan Enochson, the 64 of Tim Ballou.
All right, drivers, listen up. Here's your lineup. 83J, 36.
The 88 of Stephen Beard, the 44 of Brantley Griffin.
64. 64, did you find the 89? 7, follow him. 44, back up, please.
Tim Ballou in the 64. The 7 of Charlie Griffin. Braden Griffin in the 7. Stephen Beard needs to get up there in line. Our safety official almost let our safety cone Clint get run over down there. Stephen Beard's going to fall in between the Griffins, the 7 and the 28. Lineup is good. The 83J of Jordan Griffin, the 36 of Kyle Knight, the 13 of Zachary Pendleton, the 89 of Dan Enochson, the 64 of Tim Ballou, the 7 of Charlie Griffin, the 88 of Stephen Beard, the 28 of Brantley Griffin, the 44 of Brendan Griffin, and the 58 of Keith Reed is your lineup. Driver's got the 1 to go. The safety cone is on the track. Lights are out. Remember, you start in turn number 3 or when the flagman drops the flag, but you may not pass until you get to the cone. Then it's a free-for-all into turn number 1. If you pass before the cone, you will be docked a position at the next flag, whether it's a caution flag or the checkered flag. Green flag is in the air. We're going to have a green-white checker shootout for your Mini Mod A feature. White flag is in the air. Final time around, Jordan Griffin. Kyle Knight, your top 2, dishing it out at the top. Checkered flag is in the air. Jordan Griffin in the 83J is going to take it. The Bounty Hunter strikes again. Kyle Knight in the 36, Zachary Pendleton in the 13. Dan Enixon followed by Tim Ballou, Charlie Griffin, Stephen Beard, Brantley Griffin, Brendan Griffin, and then Keith Reed rounding out your field. I'm going to throw it down to the infield for our victory interview here with Bryson. Hang on, Bryson. Let me get you plugged up here.
All right, I'm on. Yeah. Jordan Griffin down here in Victory Lane, powered by Victory Fuel. And, man, on that initial green flag, lap traffic, able to take advantage of that and get the lead. And then on the last restart, able to hold off last night's winner, Kyle Knight. What's this feel like, man?
Man, it feels good. The last couple of nights have been struggling, so it feels good to get a win.
So talk to me about navigating through lap traffic here on such tight quarter.
You just got to give it your all right here on this track. It's nothing.
All right, Jordan Griffin, winner of the here tonight. Here, I keep cutting out, Neil. I don't know what's going on, man. It's me.
Your magnetic
it's me,
personality.
right?
It's your magnetic personality causing that